All right, I'm back already. People, I just could not stop talking and thinking about this. I've opened up a can of worms. You know how you go in a different direction and it's fascinating? So you go deeper and deeper. Well, I'm about to go deeper into this rabbit hole. People, you might say, of course not, in response to the title of this live stream, but this is so perfect. It has to be deliberate. What I just explained is not some discovery. The most intelligent people in the world, people who run the world, have to be aware of what I'm talking about. Now, I say certain things to members, to channel members, that I don't say publicly. And I mentioned this to the members, and it's sort of spilled out publicly. I question if this is truly a pro-white government. Do you really think a pro-white government would have something this destructive to their population? They're the only group on the planet whose population is decreasing. Black people, we talk about abortions, black on black crime, and all this kind of stuff. Our population is still increasing. Theirs is the only one that's decreasing. In a pro-white government, if this was a truly pro-white government, self-preservation would be the most important. Think about that. That don't slip your mind. That's not going to slip the mind of a group of people whose job is to just sit back and think all day. I'm not making no monumental discovery. They should be aware that this dog lover culture is highly poisonous to a population of people whose numbers are declining. And everybody else is increasing. No. Dog lovers. White people out there who are dog lovers. You have to put an end to this lifestyle right now. You have to put an end to this lifestyle right now. The combination of all of you. This is genocidal. We talk about how we feel like our government has been trying to exterminate us as black people. I believe all black people have that feeling deep inside of us. That this government wants to destroy us, wipe us clean. Our numbers keep rising. People, you think they're not aware of the fact that many people are choosing to have dogs rather than kids? Why would something like this be legal in a truly pro-white government? No, the people, all the lawmakers, the combination of all of them is pure Satan. Satan wants everybody. Wants to take you all to hell. Don't care if you are a bum or if you run the world. Satan wants your soul. People, not only that, look at how strong this country promotes interracial relationships. Look at and I hate to go here, kids cover your ears, look at the interracial adult movies out there. Many of them are pristine. They have the highest quality and their views are through the roof. You couldn't get away with something like this in the late 1800s. Look at how strong it's promoted. Is this really a pro-white? Interracial porn would be illegal in a truly pro-white government. Dogs would be illegal in a truly pro-white government. Their first priority would be to have a population that increases. It's very hard for me to believe that the true powers behind this government is pro-white. Very hard to believe that. Shout out to Morpheus Christos in the super chat. This is scary, people. This is very eerie. Because most of us has viewed white people as the ones who runs this country. We viewed this government as a government that is white owned, white run, designed to help and benefit white people. How could that be the case? If it promotes more than anyone else the replacing of your literal kids with dogs. It's no. And notice how everybody is hypnotized. All the dog lovers. Notice how they're in sync with each other. None of them they don't attack other dog lovers when they say bad things about kids. And how much they hate kids. I don't think I saw any negative or any objective viewpoints in the comment sections of these articles that they write about how kids are better than dogs. I'm not seeing the opponents. I'm not seeing the dog lovers. I'm not seeing the people, period. Black people, when you see comments like this, you need to speak out against it. You don't have to be white. Very fact they're talking about babies like that. Don't let nobody do that, no matter what race they are. But this is most done among white people. They got to snap out of that. They got to snap out of that. We cannot promote this type of mentality. And white people, you're not safe. See, this is very deceptive. White people, you're not safe. There is a force, an evil force trying to destroy you as well. And guess what? It is succeeding. It's succeeding in destroying white people, and it's not letting up. It's not stopping and saying, oh, wait a minute. My population is decreasing. Everybody's rising. Or, hold on, wait a minute. We have a 0 birth rate. Let's change some things up here. That's not happening. You don't see dogs. They're removing pit bull bands. They want all the dogs possible. All the breeds, all of them. They are pressing the gas harder now that your population has started to decrease. They are mashing down harder than they have in history right now as your population is decreasing. You cannot tell me this government is truly working in the best interest of white people. It might deceive them, make them think that they're the big dogs and they're in control and this is white country. No. Satan is after you too. Death, the Grim Reaper, is after you too, trying to wipe you out too. We might have to deal with the birth clinics, the abortion clinics that flood black neighborhoods, how it's promoted by these Democrats to be single mothers, to depend on the system, to depend. They push, these Democrats push dependency, that we should exist being dependent on black people and whine and seek sympathy and approval. We have all these things working against our population as black people, that we don't see what's going on. We don't see the big picture. We don't see what's going on to white people, because the ways that we're attacked is overt. You dump a whole bunch of abortion clinics in black neighborhoods, right? All liquor stores and right next to a church, and we know the history of this country. But our populations is still increasing. It's still increasing. White peoples are decreasing. Don't you think the ruling class is aware of that? Why aren't they stopping it? Why aren't they making moves to put a halt to this decrease in population? Why aren't they making moves to do that? The very first move to be to ban dogs. No more of this dog mom, dog dad. Some of them, it's their lover, literal lover. They would force the people to reproduce. No more dogs, none of that. It's against the law to own a dog. You want to be a mom, you want to be a dad, you better have kids. Wouldn't a truly pro-white government put in place, set things up, condition society, structure it so that people have kids? How many people would have thought that, would have suspected? Now I'm asking a question, just like the title of the live stream says. Is the ruling class trying to destroy white people? That's fascinating, because most of us in our mind, we view the white ruling class as a group of aggressors against non-whites without even thinking about it. That's how we view them. Nobody's attacking white people. Nobody trying to destroy white people. There's nobody to destroy them, right? Isn't that the belief, the general belief? They got all the power. But yet, there is something that's destroying them, and no other group on the planet. Something that's literally reducing their numbers that they can control. They can ban dog ownership. It's not a problem. They could exterminate them, like I'm requesting. How much more powerful of motivation do you need than your very existence being on the line? Big shout out to Michael David, who has become a member of the channel. Again, I made the membership $5. I chose the lowest price. I think I chose the lowest price. And, it's a smaller crowd, so I'm more likely to say some things that I wouldn't say publicly. But I brought this up. I said, can this truly be a pro-white? Do you think a truly pro-white government would be able to deal with seeing so many mutilated white babies and white kids everywhere? People, when I saw those photos for the first time, I was traumatized, and I'm not even white. If I ruled this country, there's no way I'd tolerate that. I said it before. It's worth removing 60 million dogs to save the life of one child. Dogs are that worthless. That worthless. I just don't get it. And the open degradation, the insulting, out in the open, making it acceptable, putting it in memes, degrading the very existence of white babies, white kids. There are no lawyers speaking out against that. There are no psychologists. Where are the white psychologists who step in and say, whoa, 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 you can't condition? Where are the white sociologists going after this dog culture? You've all heard of this narrative of people replacing kids with dogs. Everybody's heard of that. Where are you at? Why am I the lone voice out here saying what you're supposed to be saying? You're educated in sociology, psychology. You know how dangerous rhetoric is like this. You can't have narratives like this permeate through your population. And as soon as you see a population decreasing, that is the time when you examine the ideologies that permeates through the population. You examine what's going on in their mind. And if you see something like this, you got to put an end to it. It's not happening. It's not happening. So is the ruling class trying to destroy white people? It seems like there is a powerful force that's not only trying to destroy them, but to destroy them and have them believing that they are in control of the world. Have them believing that they are the most powerful in the world, while at the same time, only your numbers are decreasing. If this doesn't force white people to wake up and stand against dogs, nothing will. Nothing will. It is being proven that dogs are the true reason for their declining numbers. Because you remove dogs and people will bond tighter with each other. All that energy they had to waste on a dog now gets redirected towards their human partner, towards their kids. They immediately become better parents. That change in perspective, you're going to naturally have a higher value for life. Because you're not putting people on the same level as a filthy, dirty, dumb dog. Just something to think about. I think it's scary that the countries who promote dogs the most, who have the most pets, they're European countries. When you do the research, I think I shared the information on here a couple times. The countries that are the biggest dog lovers, where the highest percentage of the population own dogs. It's like almost exclusively European countries in the United States. Almost exclusively. And I think it's scary that on top of that, whites are the only one whose population is decreasing. Look, y'all got to cut that out. Y'all got to cut this dog culture out. You got to take your mutt to the shelter, leave it there, and don't get another one. That's just what you got to do. Is this what you really want to leave as your legacy? As contributing to your own extermination? Really? Tucker Carlson, I shared a link to the live stream with him. Where you at? These journalists who talk about white replacement theory, who openly talk about how the white race is being replaced. What have you said against dogs? Richard Spencer, what have you said against dogs? What have you said against this dog culture? This is sad that I'm tapping the shoulder of white nationalists of this country. Where is your stance against this dog culture? If any people among the white population should be standing against this, it should be the white nationalists. And don't get it twisted. White nationalists, I've long agreed with much of their ideologies. A lot of what they talk about is true. A lot of what they talk about is true, especially as it pertains to sociology. Where are you at? Where are your YouTube channels? Where are your videos? Huh? Get on camera. Get, chewing tobacco. Spit. I don't care. You have the rebel flags in the back. I don't care. Where you at? You have to say something now. There's none of you who follow this channel. You have to say something now. You have to take a stand now. If not, then you don't really care. It's all a facade. It's just something you want to be a part of, to be a part of something. You don't genuinely care about the survival of your people. Yeah, I'm going to put that in your face. I'm going to put you up against that. I'm going to use anything at my disposal to eradicate this dog culture. The dog culture is literally killing you. What you going to do about it? And it's scary. Everybody else's population is increasing. Mexicans, blacks, even though we supposedly got more AIDS cases, more heart disease, high blood pressure, hypertension, shooting each other, killing each other, going to prison. They say abortion is the #1 killer of black people. Black women having all these abortions, yet our population's still increasing. So you must have to do an awful lot for your population to decrease. Is that safe to say? You got to really put up resistance for our population to decrease. If black people is dealing with all of this, all these abortions and everything, yet our population is still increasing. That might mean that the dog culture is overboard. And it's time to pump the brakes. It's time to pump the brakes. So all of you, Tucker Carlson's, Richard Spencer, especially you, Richard Spencer, you should know better. Richard Spencer should know better. As notorious as he is, some of the things he's gone on lectures, gone around the country talking about. Joe Rogan is another one. Joe Rogan is a dog lover. Where your comments at, Joe Rogan? Man, I cannot wait until I get a large following. That way it'd be more likely that you're going to have to respond. Because what I don't like right now is the fact that I talk and I say these things and they look at people like me, oh, you're nobody, you only got a few subscribers. But if I had millions listening, you have to respond then. Where you at? Yes, dog lovers, you should fear us. You should fear us. We are the Crusaders. Nice to meet you. We've come to take over. This dog lover culture is so destructive. It's so destructive. If you get too deep into it, your population might start to decrease. Now, I'm not saying that this is for sure the reason, but if your population is being reduced, is decreasing, you can't embrace something like this. You just can't. Say goodbye to Rover. Say goodbye to your mutts. Take them to a shelter. You can always look at dogs on TV. Huh? You can look at photos or whatever. But something needs to change. And if not, you know the consequences. I'm saying white people should be the most vigorous of us all. They should really be putting it on these people, on their own people. Like, hey, this is literally killing us. Who are some other public figures who are white nationalists? Who's that other radio talk show host? Where are these people at? What they have to say? A lot of them are dog lovers. Head over heels in love with the same thing behind reducing your population. So, white people, join us. Join us. I don't care if you hate my guts. I don't care what you think about white or black people. Yeah, I don't care if you're a Klan member. Say something against dogs. Huh? Look, I don't care what your race is. I don't care what you think about black people. If a tornado comes, drop down beside us, we both gonna be running. I don't care what your race is. At certain points in time, we all take cover. We get a foreign invasion, we both gonna be fighting against the foreigner, the people trying to take over this land. In certain cases, you got to be smart enough to put your little goofy racism aside. I know it's hard for you people with mental illness, but hell, this is so threatening. The dumbest fool should know that they shouldn't embrace something like this. See, but a lot of these guys, they've associated having a dog with being macho. It's part of how they express manhood. Without a dog, they don't feel as manly. Really? You've attached something that's literally killing you? You attached it to manhood and macho-ness, testosterone? Boy, oh boy. So, this is fascinating to me. And I find it hard to believe that the rulers of this world is not aware of this. You cannot have your population leading all other people in dog ownership, not just dog ownership. You know, I'm quite sure a higher percentage of the white population is dog owners than the percentage of black people, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But from what I've seen in my life, I've only seen so many people in my life. I've seen a higher percentage. I used to sell Kirby sweepers. Some of you may know what those are. Kirby vacuum cleaners. And we would sell door to door. You know, you couldn't buy them in a store. You had to buy them from a dealer. So we would go home to home. And a higher percentage of the white people had dogs. And so I'm not sure. I haven't counted. I haven't done a count everybody in this country. But that's what it feels like. We do know that the European countries are the highest percentage of dog owners. Dog ownership is highest in the European countries. We do know that much. But this is something that all white people should take into consideration, in my opinion. Because to have your population decreasing, that's not natural. That's not natural. You got to be willing to cut away from certain lifestyles because you got to live for the future. You know, much of what we do in life, a big part of life, is leaving a future in good hands. Whether it be a house or whatever. Here you're talking about your physical existence. So I'm going to be disgusted if this message becomes viral and I don't hear any public figures speaking out against dog ownership. I don't want to hear it. Tucker Carlson. You can talk about the Mexican border, replacement theory. I want to hear you say something about dogs. Say something against dogs. And I will give you a high five. I don't care what your beliefs are. You know, I don't have to like you to expect you to help me to get dogs out of society. I don't have to like you. You don't have to like me forced to agree that dogs don't belong in society. I hope that makes sense to you, because it makes sense to me. So I just wanted to elaborate on this. This is kind of crazy to me. Yeah? There's a force that's trying to exterminate, that literally is exterminating white people. And when you participate in it, man, that makes it even more crazy. Because they're doing it willingly. Willingly being dog lovers. Again, it's different for white people being dog lovers. There's dog lovers in all races. China, there's a whole bunch of dog lovers in China. But when you have a population that's decreasing, they need to stop doing certain things. You know, they got to stop doing certain things because it's having a worse effect on them. They have to cut out any and everything that works against reproduction. And this is most definitely one of them. This is blatant and overt, or where they actually out here saying, I don't want kids, I want a dog. Dogs are better than kids. No, 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 no. So people, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if you hear more and more people say the things that I'm saying. Speak against this dog culture as a way of defending depopulation or fighting against depopulation, the depopulation of the white race. They are eventually going to catch on, and you're going to hear more white nationalists, public figures, and so forth, YouTubers, if you know any. You're going to see them in these forums, on Stormfront, on Reddit, on 4chan, these little groups that they have. You're going to see this narrative more and more. And if you don't, then these people are not truly concerned about the preservation of their race. Shout out to everybody able to join me for this post-rant. I've ranted here for another half hour. Thank you very much. Hope you like and share. Most of all, share this video and this message. White people, you're not safe. Don't think for 1 minute. Don't think for 1 minute that just other races are dealing with forces working against them. You know, white people knew that their numbers was decreasing, but have you reflected on maybe it's decreasing because of something that you're willingly doing? You're participating in it. You don't want to do that, do you? So get rid of your mutt. Get rid of your mutt. If I can walk away and say, hey, I convinced you to get rid of your dog, my job is done. If I could say this to every white person in this country and cause them to get rid of their dog, mission accomplished. That's my goal. However it happens, my goal is to eradicate dogs. Drive dogs into complete extermination. When we do, they are going to recite the things that I'm saying. There's nothing else to recite. They're going to exterminate dogs based on the things that I'm talking about. There's nothing else to talk about other than the obvious. How they're nasty they are, attack people, and they are a replacement for kids, which can reduce your population. And who knows? Dogs might contribute to the sterilization of men who live with them. Maybe it's something, I told you, they'll keep stuff like this away from you. Dogs could have some type of microbe or parasite in their excrement or something that floats around on their dander. You get it into your body, now it sterilizes you. Now your sperm count shoots way down. Y'all don't know what these mutts doing to your body. And if it's doing something like that, trust me, they're not going to tell you about it. They're not going to tell you something where they'll have millions of people getting rid of their dog. They'll keep it away from you. So it's time to think. It's time to think. It's time to act. Big shout out to everybody who's able to join me for this live stream, and I hope to see you all on the next as we continue with this crusade.